This video is going to be the only video you need to feel prepared when you go to school. No gimmicks, no sponsors, just things to help your everyday life and even look a little bit better as well. So for the backpack, I hear you, you're on a budget. So assuming you have around $50 to spend, your best bet is going to be looking on Amazon. In fact, in order to make this video a little bit better, I actually ordered one on Amazon to test it. And to my surprise, I actually really liked it. This has a slim black design, plenty of compartments, and it sits very comfortably. I threw everything in this backpack just to see how it would feel like. And for 50 bucks, I have no complaints. And since, like I always say, a backpack is definitely part of your outfit, having one like this one that's clean and the color black, it's gonna go with pretty much anything that you decide to wear to school. Now let's start off with the big three in your everyday carry: your phone, wallet, and keys. You should aim to make this as light as possible because you don't want your pockets bulky. You want everything lightweight. So instead of carrying on a wallet, if you have an iPhone, I recommend something like a MagSafe wallet. This one is from Apple. I got the navy to match the phone. Before you go there, no, I am not flexing my iPhone. I'm simply saying that having a MagSafe wallet on the back of your phone eliminates the need for a wallet, so it's one less thing that you have to worry about. And if you're going to school, you really don't need more than 3 cards anyways. And this one from Apple is going to carry all 3 that you need. This one goes for 50 bucks, but there are cheaper alternatives on Amazon as well. But if you do need more cards, highly recommend a slim leather card holder. Now these don't have to be crazy expensive. If your budget's less than 100 bucks, recommend this one from Nomad Goods. Great quality, and it's actually very affordable. All right, for your keys, instead of having these everywhere, it's also making your pockets a little bit bulkier. So I recommend a key organizer. You could actually find one for less than 30 bucks, like these from Orbit Key. Or if you want a leather one, you could find one for around 55 bucks, which I highly recommend, by the way. The leather ones look so much nicer. But just in general, having a key organizer, it's a lot more comfortable in your pockets, and it shows that you pay attention to the small details. There's one thing that I love. It's a good piece of tech. And there are some pieces of tech that will elevate your life in school. Most obvious one is a good pair of earphones. So if you're on a budget, of course, the wired ones, these are always gonna be a good option. But if you have the money to spend on something like AirPods, highly recommend it. I really think it's hard to beat AirPods in terms of having small earphones. Of course, there are some that sound better, but again, just trying to keep our everyday carry as light as possible. AirPods are tiny, sound amazing, great noise quality. So for me, it's definitely the clear choice. Next thing you could pick up is a MagSafe charger. A dead phone is absolutely brutal, so save yourself the headache. You can get a full portable charger, but these are a little bit bigger and usually more expensive. And if you're just going to school, all you really need is one extra charge. And these small MagSafe ones do exactly that. So having this in your backpack can definitely save your life at times. But of course, if you have an extra charger, might as well throw that in the backpack as well. Another thing that you should carry to school actually goes inside your wallet, and that is a tracking card. Again, another headache is if you misplaced your wallet. That's obviously very stressful. So if that ever happens, being able to track your card is so important. And if you get a slim card, you don't notice it at all. Like I have this one from Anchor. It was super cheap, and I always make sure that it's in my wallet before even leaving the house. Okay, moving on to stationary items. This is obviously going to be whatever you need to go to school, but these don't always have to be boring. For example, instead of just using a normal pen, I recommend a stainless steel pen. I think these are so cool, and they are very cheap. I got a 3-pack on Amazon for less than 10 bucks. These feel so much nicer to write on, and I think they could turn a few heads. I think it automatically gives you a little bit of aura. So for 10 bucks, this is definitely a great purchase. Next thing you should get is a leather notebook. Again, it's really about the small details, and leather, it's definitely a subtle flex. I like these from Moleskine. The combination of a leather journal and a stainless steel pen. For me, this almost just gives you a little bit extra motivation to sit down and actually take notes. Okay, moving on to hygiene, which is probably my favorite thing to talk about, especially going to school. One thing that we can all agree on is having gum at school is very clutch. Always making sure that your breath smells good. In my opinion, very important. When I was buying items for this specific video, I actually found a new brand, which trying them now is probably my new favorite brand. These are organic, sugar-free. Definitely love this one. Next thing is a good hand lotion. When I was in high school, I went to an outdoor school, which apparently isn't that common, but I guess since I live in California, there's a lot more outdoor schools. But whenever it would get cold outside, my skin would dry up, very uncomfortable, and it looks terrible. So I found this new brand called Ballman's, and this one is so good. If you have the app Yuka, it actually has a very high rating on here. So clean ingredients, works great, and has shea moisture, which really hydrates the skin. And if you have eczema, shea butter is supposed to help a lot with eczema, which is something I don't think I've talked about in this channel, but I do have eczema, and it usually gets bad when it gets cold outside. So having this in hand would be a huge lifesaver. Speaking of keeping your skin hydrated, the next essential is a good lip balm. Again, chapped lips, they look terrible. They're also extremely uncomfortable. Of course, the most important thing is staying hydrated, but if you're still dealing with love chapped lips. It is so clutch to have a good lip balm in hand. When it comes to lip balms, I hate chapstick. I don't know how people use this. One ingredient that has helped a lot for me personally is beeswax. It's more natural, doesn't irritate the skin. In fact, it actually hydrates your lips. So this brand, again, picked it up for super cheap on Amazon. This is something that I would carry to school every day. One thing that's really gonna make you stand out in school is smelling good. However, do not bring a full bottle of cologne to school. If that breaks, you are in a terrible position and you don't need something that big. So you got two options. You can get something like an atomizer, which I ended up buying for only $10. Put your favorite colognes in here, super easy to use. Or your next option, if you want to try a new cologne, something like Scentbird is a good option. These are small, portable, and you can get one for like 15 bucks. But when it comes to smelling good, the most important thing you could do is preventing bad smells, which is why you need a good deodorant. And I recently ended up finding a new favorite deodorant, which is Duke's Cannon. I actually just found this at Walmart. Again, scanned Yuka. Great rating. I have sensitive skin, especially on the armpits. Most deodorants just burn. It's not normal. I've been using this for a couple weeks now. So much better. I used to use Dr. Squash, which is a good option, but it would always stain my clothes, which was so annoying. This one doesn't do that. It's more of a gel-like consistency. It's clear. And since I've been using this for some time, I'm confident to say this actually does a good job of blocking odors. But when I say that, a lot of people in the comments say that I should use an antiperspirant. I don't know what it is about those. I just don't like them. So for me, normal deodorants like this one from Duke Cannon, great option. Oh, and this is cheaper than Native and Dr. Squash. So, like I mentioned earlier, staying hydrated is extremely important. If you're just gonna be drinking water, you can get one of those metal ones that keeps your drink cool all day. Like I found this one from Target for like 15 bucks. Good option, but since I always recommend throwing something in there, like electrolytes, which is gonna keep you even more hydrated, I recommend something like a Gila Mix. You could obviously just keep water in here all day, but if you do wanna throw some electrolytes in there, you can. If you want some good electrolytes that are actually very cheap, best ones I've found so far are from Quince. 20 bucks, 30 servings. As far as good electrolytes, that's the cheapest you'll find. Now, if you want to dress better than all your friends, you have to wear accessories. Plus, I always get comments that, what do you do if you go to a school that has uniforms? I never went to one of those schools, but if they let you wear accessories, then you definitely should. You get a bracelet, necklace, some chains. If you want to wear rings, you can. Again, since I went to an outdoor school, one accessory that I love is good sunglasses. And you honestly don't have to spend like 200 bucks on Ray-Bans. The best cheap option I found is actually from Quince. I like these because of the color, including on the actual lens. These look sick, and they were less than 40 bucks. Now, if I was going back to school, one accessory I would always make sure that I have is a good watch. This will make any guy look way more mature, makes any outfit look better. If you're the kind of guy who likes tech, then by all means get an Apple Watch or anything like that, but I absolutely love mechanical watches, so that's what I recommend. Now, if you have less than 50 bucks to spend, go with something like Casio. If you have around 100 bucks, check out something like Seiko. These are cheap, great craftsmanship. Another thing you should buy to make sure that your outfits are always clean is something like a lint roller. I used to always carry this to school, especially if you have pets. Having lint or dog or cat hair on your outfits, probably the quickest way to ruin an outfit. Like I said, boys, it's really all about the simple things. And if you want some additional small purchases that you can make for school, then here's a video to show you exactly that.